Margaret, thank you so much for speaking with me today. You've experienced so much over the years. If you could share some timeless life advice for teenagers navigating 2025, what would it be?
Oh, Alex, where to begin? Life has taught me many lessons. But if I had to pick, the most important would be to take time to understand yourself.
That's a powerful idea. But teenagers today are juggling school, social media, sports, and hobbies. How can they find the time to understand themselves?
That's the challenge, isn't it? When I was young, life wasn't as fast paced, but even then, I struggled to find time for myself. The trick is to create space for self reflection. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, sit down and ask yourself questions. What made me happy today? What didn't? Why do I feel the way I do? It's a habit that pays off over time.
Did you always make time for self-reflection?
Oh, no, not at first. I spent years trying to fit into the roles others expected of me. I was too busy being what society wanted: a good daughter, a perfect wife, a hardworking employee. It wasn't until my late 30s, after a particularly tough year, that I thought, Margaret, who are you really?
So, self-discovery is more about the journey than the destination.
Precisely, Alex. Teenagers today feel this pressure to have everything figured out by a certain age. But life doesn't work that way. It's messy and unpredictable, and that's what makes it beautiful. The key is to give yourself permission to explore.
That's reassuring. But you also mentioned failures earlier. Many young people today are terrified of failure.
And that's such a shame because failure is one of life's best teachers. Back in my 20s, I tried to start a bakery. It was a total disaster. I burned pies, mixed up orders, you name it. At the time, it felt humiliating, but looking back, I see how much I learned.
What did you take away from that experience?
Oh, so much. I learned about patience, problem solving, and resilience. Those lessons carried me through the rest of my life. When things went wrong later, because they always do, I was better prepared to handle them.
It sounds like relationships play a big role in your philosophy.
Absolutely. Life is about connections, not the kind you count on social media, but real, meaningful relationship. Spend time with people who inspire you, listen to you, and challenge you to be better. Those are the bonds that last a lifetime.
Margaret, you've shared so much wisdom today. If you had to summarize your life advice for teenagers in one sentence, what would it be?
Hmm. I'd say understand yourself, embrace failure, and nurture relationships. They are the building blocks of a fulfilling life.
Perfectly said. Margaret, thank you for sharing your story. I know your advice will resonate with so many young people.
Thank you, Alex. If it helps even one teenager feel a little less lost, then it was worth sharing.
Taking time to understand yourself, embracing failures as learning opportunities, and nurturing meaningful relationships are essential life advice for teenagers in 2025. These lessons not only help build resilience and self-awareness, but also lay the foundation for a fulfilling and successful life. Walter, thank you for letting me sit down with you today. You've lived through so many changes and challenges. If you could share one piece of life advice for young people in 2025, what would it be?
It's my pleasure, Alex. If I had to choose just one, it would be this: build real relationships, not just connections.
That's a fascinating thought. Could you explain what you mean by real relationships?
Of course, these days, Alex, people think connections are just about exchanging numbers, following each other on social media, or sending a quick message. But a true relationship is much deeper. It's about time, effort, and care. It's about being there when it matters most, whether that's to celebrate someone's success or to offer support during their struggles.
That's so true. What inspired this lesson for you?
It took me a while to learn it, I'll admit. You see, I worked in sales for decades. I met thousands of people, colleagues, clients, acquaintances, but most of those relationships were surface level. They were about transactions, convenience, or necessity. It wasn't until I retired that I realized how much I'd missed out on by not fostering deeper.
That must have been a tough realization. What did you do about it?
It was tough, but it was also a wake-up call. After that, I started reaching out to old friends, spending more time with my family, and building relationships based on shared experiences and trust. I learned to listen more, be present, and give without expecting anything in return.
That's such an important shift. But young people today are so focused on building networks and online connections. What would you say to them?
I'd say your network might get you a job, but your relationships will give your life meaning. Take the time to meet people in person, share experiences, and create memories. Relationships aren't about the number of likes, followers, or connections you have. They're about quality.
That's such a meaningful perspective. Do you think there's a specific first step young people can take to start building these deeper relationships?
Yes. Start by showing gratitude. Let the people you care about know how much they mean to you. A simple thank you or I appreciate you can go a long way. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Share your thoughts, your struggles, your dreams. That kind of honesty fosters deeper bonds.
That's beautiful advice, Walter. If you could sum up your life advice for young people in one powerful sentence, what would it be?
I'd say invest in real relationships. They're the foundation of a meaningful and fulfilling.
Perfectly said. Thank you for sharing your story, Walter. I think your advice will resonate deeply with people navigating 2025 and beyond.
Thank you, Alex. If my story helps even one person strengthen their bonds, then it was worth sharing.
In real relationships, instead of superficial connections, is essential life advice for teenagers and young adults in 2025. By focusing on quality over quantity and being genuine, present, and supportive, young people can create a foundation for a meaningful and fulfilling life. Harold, thank you for letting me join you today. You've lived a long, rich life, and I'm curious, what's the best life advice you can share for people in 2025?
Alex, I'd say two things. First, stay curious and keep learning. Second, take care of your health early. Both are keys to living well no matter how fast the world changes.
Those are great tips. Let's start with staying curious.
Curiosity keeps you young, Alex. The moment you stop learning, you start getting old, not just in years, but in spirit. The world is changing faster than ever, and there's always something new to explore. For me, it's chess. I've been playing for decades, but I still learn something new every game.
Why is that so important? That's a fascinating way to look at it. How has curiosity shaped your life?
It's opened doors I didn't even know existed. When I was young, I was curious about electronics. I tinkered with radios and eventually built a career as an engineer. Later, I got interested in gardening, which became a peaceful hobby in my retirement. Every time I followed my curiosity, it led to something rewarding. New skills, new friends, new opportunities.
That's excellent advice. Now let's talk about health. Why do you think it's important to take care of it early?
Because you only get one body, Alex. When you're young, it feels invincible. You stay up late, eat junk, and skip exercise thinking you'll be fine. But those choices catch up with you. Trust me, I've seen it happen to friends. Good health isn't about perfection, it's about habits. The earlier you start, the easier it is to maintain.
That's such an important message. What's one small step young people can take today to care for their health?
Move your body. It doesn't have to be intense. Go for a walk, dance, play a sport, just do something and drink water. It sounds simple, but little things like that add up over time.
That's practical advice. Combining curiosity with health sounds like a recipe for a fulfilling life. How do the two connect for you?
They're like two sides of the same coin. Curiosity keeps your mind sharp, and good health keeps your body strong. Together, they let you enjoy life to the fullest. What's the point of learning if you're too unwell to experience the world? And what's the point of being healthy if you're not curious enough to explore life's possibilities?
That's such a beautiful way to think about it. If you had to sum up your life advice for 2025 in one sentence, what would it be?
Stay curious and take care of your health early. They're the foundation for a meaningful and vibrant life.
Perfectly said, Harold. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. I know your advice will resonate with many people looking to make 2025 their best year yet.
Thank you, Alex. If my story helps even one person find balance and joy, then it was worth sharing. Now, shall we play a game of chess?
Staying curious and keeping learning, combined with taking care of your health early, is essential life advice for 2025. These habits help build a life that is mentally sharp, physically strong, and filled with endless possibilities. Thomas, thank you for letting me speak with you. You've lived a long, full life. If you could share one piece of life advice for young people in 2025, what would it be?
My pleasure, Alex. If I had to share one thing, it would be this life for experiences, not just achievements.
That's a wonderful thought. Can you explain what you mean by living for experiences?
Well, achievements are important. They can bring pride and recognition. But what stays with you are the memories of experiences, the trips, the laughter, the moments you share with loved ones. Those are what make life truly fulfilling.
Was there a moment in your life that made this lesson clear to you?
Yes, years ago, I skipped an important meeting to go on a hiking trip with my family, sitting by the campfire, laughing and sharing stories. I realized those days were worth more than any business deal. Moments like that remind you what really matters.
That's so meaningful. How can young people shift their mindset from chasing achievements to prioritizing experiences?
Start by pausing and appreciating the present. Take time to explore hobbies, enjoy nature, and connect with loved ones. Experiences don't have to be grand. They just need to be meaningful.
Beautifully said, Thomas. If you had to summarize your advice in one sentence, what would it be?
Don't just chase achievements. Live for the experiences that make life worth remembering.
Living for experiences, not just achievements, is essential life advice for 2025. By cherishing meaningful moments, people can create a life filled with joy and lasting memories. Eleanor, thank you for letting me visit today. You've experienced so much in your lifetime. If you could share one piece of life advice for people in 2025, what would it be?
It's my pleasure, Alex. If I had to choose one, it would be to be kind and make a positive impact.
That's lovely advice. Why do you think kindness is so important?
Because kindness is powerful, Alex. A single small act can brighten someone's day, and its impact often goes further than you can imagine. It reminds us that we're all connected and that even little gestures can make a big difference.
Has there been a moment in your life that showed you the power of kindness?
Absolutely. When I was a child, my family had a tough winter. One day, a neighbor left a basket of food and blankets on our porch without saying a word. That small, thoughtful act gave us hope. It taught me how even simple kindness can transform someone's life.
That's such a touching story. How can young people make a positive impact in today's world?
Start small, smile at a stranger, offer help, or simply listen to someone who needs it. Kindness doesn't have to be complicated. Even online, a kind comment or a supportive message can make someone's day.
If you had to sum up your advice in one sentence, what would it be?
Be kind, because small acts of kindness can ripple out to create a better world.
Being kind and making a positive impact is vital life advice for 2025. Through small, thoughtful actions, anyone can contribute to a more compassionate and connected world.